What's up, everybody? Crypto Wally here. Whoa, it was a rough day, huh? It was extremely hard day for some of you. And you're probably wondering what actually happened, why there was such a big meltdown today. And I want to just do a quick run through, explain you what actually happened and why it happened. So, in general, there was very unfortunate accumulation of bad news happening at the same time. And that is why you are seeing here, as I'm showing you in this chart, Bitcoin price just went down from, it used to be at 13,000 and went down to at 10,000. It was a support level. On some exchanges, it went down to even 9,000. And right now we see that it's rebounding a little bit. So it went up, but to be honest, it might be just a bull trap. I will show you like the different perspective from the month or so after this amazing time for all these exciting price levels. Right now we have a hard time and we are trying to go back to this level, which might be hard, and there was a lot of news which affected the price going down again, and here's why. So first thing is actually, as Cointelegraph is saying, summarizing the crypto market suffering, there was a lot of bad news happening from Asia, and the first one was actually a potential ban from China about mining. So if that's gonna happen, that's gonna be a really hard time, especially from Bitcoin. There's a chance that might be a ban in China and miners will not be allowed to mine Bitcoin or any mineable cryptocurrencies anymore. So I'm not saying that's gonna kill Bitcoin forever, but there's gonna be a lot of uncertain things happening, and probably these miners will have to go to some other countries. There was a similar situation in the past, and then Russia was offering all these miners to just settle in Russia and mine from them. We'll see how it goes. I hope this is not gonna be the case, but the news itself made the price plunge. Another thing is that there was another news from South Korea, which is saying that they will introduce more restrict regulations around using their exchanges. And as you probably know, there is a lot of big exchanges over there. South Korea is a big player in pumping those prices as well as dumping them. So they have a big influence on the prices on the market around the world. And to be honest, this is not as scary as it sounds, because until now, every single exchange member only had to put his email address and nothing else. Right now, the South Korea will require every single user to put their name and last name and more personal data instead of just using email, which was too anonymous. And it might be a news to those people, but this is pretty standard practice, as we know and as we are using other exchanges in other countries. So as I said, it sounded more scary than it actually is, and I wouldn't be worried about it. It's actually a good thing in my opinion, because it feels like there's gonna be less and less shady people using exchanges, which is a good thing. Another thing which affected the price in the negative way was actually a news from SEC about the Metropolitan Bank Holding Corporation. And actually, this bank is pushing back against reports that it has moved to halt international wires related to cryptocurrencies. And it's obviously another unfortunate news. Obviously, there is no specific reason for that. The bank is just saying that they had a statement coming 2 days after, and there were reports indicated that the bank has ceased international wire transfers related to cryptocurrencies because, in their opinion, they were not able to verify that overseas banks complied with some certain rules or regulations. And the bank is also saying that this is not going to affect any domestic wire transfers or international wires from US entities. So it's very specific. But as this bank is saying, this is their long-standing policy of not accepting cryptocurrency-related wire transfers from non-US entities. It's like a part of the robust risk management program. I mean, I was facing the same thing from other financial institutions, and you can read about it. That the very recent example is the Capital One. I was trying to make a transfer a couple days ago, and they said they recently banned using cryptocurrencies through their system. So that's gonna be the same thing if you're having Capital One card and for some reason you want to use it to buy some cryptocurrencies. Don't be surprised. That's not gonna happen, and you will not even get a fraud alert. It's just on their blacklist, and you won't see anything like that. So be prepared. As I heard, also Bank of America are making some problems with that, but there are still banks and credit unions which are fully supporting cryptocurrencies. And so just do your own research before you use it. Another bad thing, but I wouldn't say it's something unexpected, and it's also coming from Asia, is actually Asian Lunar New Year. And a lot of money is actually flowing back to fiat to buy gifts and plane tickets, train tickets, food, grocery, everything all together. There's a projection that it's going to be around $100 billion in spending. And this is the same thing as holidays in December in United States, in Europe, and other countries. So this is just the same thing. People trying to cash out in order to have this money instead of holding them on the exchange. And in order to prove it, I found a chart which is showing you exactly the same behavior for years in a row as an Asian New Year. So you can see right here 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. You can see the similarities, and this is pretty much the same thing. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's gonna be 3 weeks from now. So everybody just chill out for a week. The bulls will be back by February, in my opinion. And you can't fool these people. This is just a part of their tradition. This is just their holidays, and this is the same thing as other cultures are having, just at different times. And another thing is, and also remember that cryptocurrencies are not exactly the same as stock exchange market, because cryptocurrency market right now is more about retailers instead of businesses, which means stocks boom when business is booming during the holidays. But for crypto investors, who are the retail investors, not the Wall Street investors, they sell during holidays. So you can see another example. When there was another plunge back in 2017 during the holidays, it was the same thing. So just keep these things in mind. The more you know, the bigger picture you see, the less surprised you are, which is growing some awareness. So don't worry about it. Just hold your investments. And overall advice from me, if you are super worried about your investments and you are not sure what to do right now, my number one advice for you, do nothing. Just do nothing. That's what I do. That's the best thing you can do, especially if you're a long-term holder. You probably lost some money, but even saying that you lost some money or you made some money is not relevant. As long as you didn't sell it, you didn't lose or you didn't gain actually anything. But based on my projections, even after these dips, I'm still way ahead, and I'm not worried about it. I still appreciate what I have so far. Fingers crossed, it's gonna be much better in the next months. So just do nothing. Do nothing. Hold your investments, and that's it. Another bad thing, which is also, I would say it's a warning and something I projected and many different people projected to happen, is that Bitconnect shutters crypto exchange after the regulator warnings. So you probably know the Bitconnect cryptocurrency. This one was actually in the top 20 and it was created a year ago, and everybody was saying that this is a Ponzi scheme. You probably shouldn't invest in it. If you did your own research, you're pretty aware of it, and that happened right now. If you go to the chart, you will see it plunged from around 300 to almost zero. It's worth less than nothing. And if you see it as an investment opportunity, please don't do that. This is a bad idea. This is gonna be all closed soon. So this is one of these shady coins which are not considered as a real projects, as a real cryptocurrencies. And this is actually having a bad influence on cryptocurrency market at all. As I was talking about it, everybody who is aware of these projects, everybody who is doing its own research knew about it for a long time. But there's many rookies and many new people in the market. They just considered Bitconnect as another great investment opportunity. And right now they're mad, they're disappointed, and they're probably mad at the whole cryptocurrency market, and they're blaming the whole thing that it's actually one big Ponzi scheme, which is not true, obviously, but that's actually true for this one. I think that's gonna happen with other projects as well. And the market right now is going through, it's not going yet, but it's about to go through the phase where all these different projects and ideas given on the paper are actually going to be verified. People are expecting them to actually working instead of just being an idea. And that's going to be a time when from all over these 1,300 different projects, I would say that's going to stay maybe 10 or 15%. Only the best ones, only the fully working ones, which are actually making a difference and doing something useful. The rest is going to be gone. The last thing, which is a good thing, in my opinion, and I think this is going to be a good indicator that in next months the prices will go up again, is the announcement. You can find it on Business Insider if you remember, that actually big banks, as always, are issuing their bonuses in the January. And here is the schedule for Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America, which means all these people will get a big fat checks right now as a bonus for the whole year. And that means they will probably invest some money from these checks into cryptocurrencies. No matter what officially these banks are saying about it, all these employees are actually aware that this is still a great opportunity and investment. So they will invest a lot of money. And this is what's happening right now. You can consider it as a sellout a little bit. So all these rookies and all these people who are not fully aware of what they are doing and how they are investing, they will or they already sold their investments. And this is actually even better for all these banking people. They will just buy it in big amounts. So that's gonna happen. It's actually happened for Morgan Stanley and Citigroup already. So they've got their money. JP Morgan is about to issue these ones, as well as Goldman Sachs and Bank of America. So once those people will get their checks, be prepared that the market will go up in the future time. Be prepared that market will go up again. I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow or it's going to happen in the next week. It might be even 2 or 3 months. But that's going to happen and it's going to have an influence on the market for sure. That's it for now. I hope that actually calmed you down a little bit in terms of what happened. And in general, as I said, all these price dips were actually an effect of very unfortunate accumulation of bad news. And especially in the crypto market, in the cryptocurrencies, there is a lot of young investors who are not aware of what's happening. And there is a lot of FUD. And the FUD is actually influencing all these people. They're not asking questions. They're not doing their own research. They are just panicking and selling out everything. So be smart, be wise. Always do your research. Search for answers and try to understand what's going on. My best advice for you right now, as I said, is just do nothing. Hold your investments and you will see it's going to pay out in the next months. And another and the last advice from me is always try to see the big picture. Try to see the capitalizations. Try to see where the things are going, where the projects are heading, what are the timelines for specific things. For Bitcoin, right now, Bitcoin is going through the hard times, especially where we are seeing all these quantum computers coming up and Bitcoin is not quantum resistant. It might mean that Bitcoin will have to go through another forks, but I think that Lightning Network should fix that issue, at least for now, and it's gonna be also affecting a Litecoin in a good way. So stay cool, keep your investments, So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. As always, please leave a comment, give the thumbs up, click the notification bell, and see you in my next videos.